and despair. 4 Billings families changed forever, mourning the loss of 4 teenagers taken just days before Christmas.
This is not something that you would ever anticipate happening.
We show you how the community is stepping up to help ease their pain. Plus, Montana's got that Frisco feeling.
It's a beautiful thing your Montana fans will be able to enjoy.
Thousands of Grizz fans looking to touch down in Texas.
Anything I can help you guys on telling you where to go would be great, because I guess you probably realize we might not care for the Jackrabbits too much.
From tickets to hotels to pregame parties, we're breaking down the big do's and don'ts of the game. The MTN 530 News starts right now.
From Montana's news leader, this is the MTN 530 News.
Good evening, everyone. Thanks for starting your week with us. I'm Andrea Lutz. Tonight, new details emerged surrounding that deadly crash that claimed the lives of 4 Billings teenagers over the weekend. While authorities have not yet released the identity of these 4 teens, we're learning details about them from GoFundMe pages. This is 17-year-old Storm Lee Skaggs, described as being a one-of-a-kind friend. 18-year-old Weston Lee also killed in that crash, leaving behind his mother and 8-year-old twin brothers. 14-year-old McKaylee Ryder is described as a spark plug who ran, not walked, to the beat of her own drum. And 14-year-old Zoe is a beloved daughter of a single mom who misses her dearly. While the crash is still under investigation, officials saying none of those teens were wearing their seatbelts and speeding and alcohol were involved. The community is showing its support for these families left in heartache. Our Haley Monaco is at the site of a memorial now placed at the scene of the crash.
Our community is rallying around the families of the 4 teenagers who lost their lives here in a car wreck early Saturday morning. Now a memorial is left behind. It's been filled with flowers, stuffed animals, and notes of people who have come to pay their respects.
This is not something that you would ever anticipate happening.
4 Billings families are dealing with the unimaginable now without their teenage children after a car wreck early Saturday morning.
I can't even imagine what they're going through. This is a absolute devastation and the worst thing that can happen right before Christmas.
Helping amid the tragedy is Tanya Kemper and her team at the Billings Man Shop, the barbershop where Kim Coden works. Kim is the mother of Zoe, one of the 14-year-old girls who died.
We're trying to do anything and everything that we can, and I believe that us girls are going to start, sending her over some food and stuff too. So
a GoFundMe has been set up for Kim, a single mother, to help with funeral costs, rent, and bills, as well as a jar at the barbershop collecting money.
I think for the most part right now, Kim is really numb. And I talked to her today, and she is trying to wrap her head around the situation. I know that she keeps mentioning she wants her daughter to walk back through that door, and she's not going to do it.
The 3 other families also have ways to donate to help them cover the unimaginable task of holding a funeral for their children. These are just a few of the words shared on their fundraising pages. Storm Lee Skaggs was 18 years old. A family friend writes, "To know Storm was to love Storm." Weston Lyon was 17. A family friend writes his mother and 8-year-old twin brothers are pushing through this Christmas season with an emptiness in their hearts. And McKaylee Ryder was 14, described as a spark plug who ran to the beat of her own drum.
I want the families to know that my heart is with them. This is an absolute devastating situation, and we're all here for them to help in any way that we can, and I hope and pray that the community will come together.
For links to the fundraiser pages and more ways to help the families, visit ktvq.com. In Billings, Haley Monaco, MTN News.
Frisco bound. You know by now the Montana Grizzlies are headed to the FCS Championship after a thrilling double overtime victory over North Dakota State. The Grizz will now take on South Dakota State on January 7th. Tonight, our Charlie Kleps looks at what you'll need to know if you make the journey to Frisco, talking with a fan base who knows Frisco better than most.
Fargo, North Dakota may be 1,000 miles away from Frisco, Texas, but for Bison fans, This is home away from home.
We call it kind of Fargo South because it feels like home down there.
Mike Bice has attended the national championship game in Frisco the last 12 years, even the 2 years the Bison weren't playing. And he knows Toyota Stadium inside and out.
The whole stadium is good seating. It doesn't really matter where you are. You have a good view.
Bice and other Bison fans have learned a thing or two over the years. Their first advice, have a plan B.
The weather can always be a factor. If you're booking plane tickets, leave some wiggle room.
And if you want an affordable ticket, now is not the time to buy. Bison fanatic Matthew Frazee actually recommends waiting until you get to Frisco the day before the game, when tickets are suddenly much more affordable.
Make the trip down. At worst, you're able to tailgate before and after and watch the game in a bar or restaurant in the environment.
Bison fans also know where to get the best food. Their advice, do some homework.
Try to really Google and look up those bars and restaurants that are already going to be supporting the Grizz and go there for like better prices, better food, and honestly all day events.
And they even have advice on getting into the stadium. Rule number 1, have your tickets loaded on the app before you get to the stadium.
Your ability to have data in the parking lots is going to be dead to the world.
Last but not least, capitalize on those NDSU fans. Because the team plays in the big game almost every year, many booked blocks of rooms a year in advance.
Well, some other fan bases would call it arrogant, I guess. I just call it confidence.
And fortunately for Montanans, most Bison fans hate South Dakota State more than they hate the Grizz, which means the green and gold may just be willing to help you out.
Montana gets a great experience. Hopefully they can pull it off against the Rabbits. It's going to be a tough battle, but hopefully they can get her.
I have not seen or heard of one Bison fan saying, I want the Jackrabbits to win. I think it's pretty clear that the Grizz have the support of North Dakota.
In Billings, Charlie Kleps, MTN News.
The University of Montana launched a website for Grizz fans to travel to the national championship, but late this afternoon we have learned a charter flight to the game out of Billings was canceled. The UM Alumni Association says tickets out of Billings didn't sell quick enough, putting Billings fans instead on flights out of Missoula or Great Falls. But by now, tickets to the game are limited, with some priced as high as $1,300. At last check, those charter packages out of Great Falls and Missoula are nearly sold out.
With our recent days, no big surprise that we're running a 50 to 70% chance of warmer than average temperatures as we start getting into the Christmas weekend. And as far as precipitation goes, overall, the average is leaning towards drier than average conditions. But that doesn't mean that every day could necessarily be warmer and drier. There could be a brief period of some snow moving in, and the best shot for that looks to be on Saturday, especially later Saturday heading into Sunday. Right now, Billings running about a 40% chance of picking up an inch of snow. It's in the ballpark. We're looking anywhere from 20 to 50% chance of an inch of snow and 20 to 35% chance of 2 inches of snowfall.
Competition is usually a good thing. Well, now there's another player in the internet game. Ziply Fiber, a Washington state-based fiber optic company, is actively developing internet now in Billings. Tonight, I have the details.
They call it the fastest fiber in the West.
Fiber is that technology.
A new player in the game, Ziply Fiber, put these flyers on the doors of 18,000 Billings homes just weeks ago, emerging as another option in the internet marketplace.
I think competition is good, keeps prices down a little bit, and you get the best value for your money.
Shauna Ottman got a flyer living here on Avenue D.
We used to be CenturyLink customers. We went to Spectrum because they kind of priced us out.
Same with Tara Lamonte.
I do think there should be some more competition. Because, yeah, sometimes Spectrum is in and out.
Ziply plans to move quickly in the new year, starting work as soon as permits are complete, then hooking up new customers sometime in January or February.
We think that regardless of your zip code, you should have access to the best possible connection we can provide.
Ryan Luckin with the company says it's a no-pressure deal. No bundles, no annual contracts.
It's just great internet on your terms.
But residents have seen excitement over competition in the market emerge before with TDS Fiber. You might remember these images months ago when contractors left holes and dirt piled up in the yards of dozens of homes around Billings savings while trying to build out their network. It's a reason Lamontag is going to take her time before deciding to switch.
I want to do my research on a company and build knowledge before I go signing up for something I've never heard of.
This is construction, so there are going to be holes and ditches and things that we have to build, but it's a generational technology. So a few weeks of dust and dirt, this is a technology that's going to serve folks for generations to come.
Generational technology, the company says, is 25 times faster than cable.
We do have some sad news to report tonight. Longtime Montana historian and award-winning author Ellen Baumler has died. Baumler worked as an interpretive historian for the Montana Historical Society for more than 25 years. During her time with the Historical Society, she helped write or supervise the creation of over 1,600 interpretive signs. In 2011, she received the Governor's Award for the Humanities, and in August, she was awarded the Montana Heritage Keeper Award. She retired in 2018, having authored 13 books and dozens of articles. Still to come on the MTN 530 News on Q2, School District 2 is looking to change the start date for classes. We're going to give you the reasons behind this push next. And in sports, Huntley Project has championship hopes on the hardwood this season. They hope to use veteran leadership to reach the top. We'll hear from the Red Devils in just a bit.
The MTN 530 News continues right after this.